Alright, guys. Got a cool one for you today. Another one of my favorites that I've bought multiple times, I'll admit it. If it's one thing I learned about being quarantined with COVID, I'm over it now, but you appreciate movies a whole lot more, and you watch everything on the disc, like commentaries, special features, commentaries. I said that twice. Alright, well, this one I refuse to buy again because, let's see, so I started my collection, like, buying movies I like, obviously, and you know, buying other movies too and just adding it to my collection. Now I have like 1,000 films. So, and a lot of time on my hands apparently. But this one, Army of Darkness. So I bought the first DVD variation, I guess. It wasn't a door like some DVDs have that little door thing that opens and here's the disc. No, it was a regular clamshell thing. I bought it at a used DVD place up South Street. It was very short lived. It was like one of those pop up places. It was me, a bunch of friends. Uh, friend Angela was actually with me at the time, and he now owns that DVD because obviously there was more iterations of this movie and apparently multiple versions that I did not know about. There's like 4 versions of this film. It's insane. How Hollywood just takes a director's vision and butchers it. That's why there's 3 versions of this. Obviously for other markets too. Happens a lot more often than you think. Yeah. So anyway, I bought a used one that had the director's cut because I was like, I feel incomplete because I remember seeing this as a kid, like on the Sci-Fi Channel, and seeing scenes that I remember specifically was this movie, and it just didn't happen. And I remember the title being just Army of Darkness, not Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness or Ash versus the Army of Darkness. So I don't know if they messed with the titles, if there was a TV edit, which it says there is actually a TV edit in here. Anyway, this is a Shout Factory release. And if you guys know anything about movies, Shout Factory is a great movie producer of titles that I didn't know I wanted or I've seen and really wanted on Blu-ray, and they came out on Blu-ray. So fantastic company. And they've released really cool versions of this. There's another one. There's like a Steelbook edition, right? It just came out, I don't know, maybe like a couple of years ago. I'm not going to buy it. There's too many. This is it. This is the last Army of Darkness version. And this is kind of old, too. I got this a while ago. Here, let me show you. Cool cover, though. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it's a little blurry. There we go. Yeah, so as you can see, loaded with special features. And had to have it. There's the look on the inside. And there you go. All right. So, hopefully, a lot of you by now probably heard some form of Evil Dead movie. It's all connected to this. Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and this is the third one. So I call it Evil Dead 3. They want to do something different, so they called it Army of Darkness, which definitely plays into it. And it is awesome. If you're a fan of Bruce Campbell, samrami, or just 80s horror, I think this one was done in the 90s. Yep, 1992. Wow. You'll definitely appreciate this. And that's it. Only 3 Evil Deads, and there shall be no more. Well, there is a remake, and possibly another one coming, so we'll see. But yeah, Bruce Campbell's the man. He's everything you would want in a cheesy anti-hero type. A store clerk who kind of like got dragged into killing deadites, which are demons. And actually, correction, there was a continuation. Stars, the channel Stars had the Evil Dead TV series, which was awesome. I think it ended way too fast, and if you haven't seen that yet, please check it out. I'm sure you could watch it anywhere. It's been out for like a while. I can't stress that enough. The Evil Dead TV series, which was on Stars. It's everything you could have wanted in Evil Dead, just, in a series. I think there was like 3 seasons, maybe. I could be exaggerating that. God, I wish it continued. It got canceled. for whatever reason, I don't know. But yeah, just it's kind of a continuation on this. They don't mention it that much because of different companies own different properties of this film. Anyway, this one's awesome. So basically, it's Ash. It kind of takes place right after Evil Dead 2. So he gets like wished away into this portal and lands in like, medieval England or somewhere. Looks like, I'm going to say England. There's castles and stuff. And they're being terrorized, these people, by the Deadites, which are these, demons from the Book of the Dead. And he tells them, hey, listen, I dealt with this before. He kind of shows them who's boss. There's a lot quotable, things, hail to the king, baby. Like, come on. Yeah. I have a t-shirt, with Army of Darkness. It just, these are things you have to have if you're a fan. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. Everyone should know Army of Darkness, or I think everyone should know Army of Darkness. Even if you don't like these kind of movies, you'll definitely have fun watching this. It has everything you could want. Gore, comedy, demons, and medieval battles. Who thought you would want that again, right? In a 90s film. Kind of like, I don't know, like Jason and the Argonauts, stop motion feel to it. Actual physical, props. I believe the effects were done by K&B. I could be wrong, but it feels like a K&B film. Greg Nicotero, the successor of Tom Savini, those guys. Awesome cast. Everyone does a great job, I think. Bruce Campbell obviously steals the show for being some absent-minded fool who just wants to get back home to the, 21st century, but he has to do all these things. Like, all he has to do is get the book. There's like 3 sets of book in this graveyard, right? And he has to say these phrases, Klaatu, Vrata, Niktu, or whatever. And he messes up the last line. He like coughs it out, like Klaatu, Vrata. He goes like that, and it's freaking hilarious. It's so laughable. So he messes up the spell, the incantation, and all hell breaks loose. So now he still wants to go back, and they're like, "This is your fault." So his love interest in the movie, some like princess or queen or whatever, gets kidnapped by one of the Deadites. Now there's like an army of Deadites. He fights like a demonic form of him that starts off as like an eye, and then it like splits in half. There's a comedic scene where he's in looks like a windmill house. You ever see those windmill houses? And he fights like little mini-me versions of him. It's awesome. Everything about this is great. Great childhood film. Yeah, and childhood, right? I should be watching cartoons. But no, there's nothing wrong with this film. I think it's great. Everyone could watch it, I believe, despite the violence and the not even that much gore, but it's just fun. It's over the top. It's really hard to duplicate this. Now, the remake of Evil Dead that I'm sure most of you seen too, definitely did Evil Dead a lot of people are on the fence. They're like, well, it would have been a great movie if it was called something else. Now, I mean, if Evil Dead was done in modern times, I think that would be it. There was not a successor to Bruce Campbell per se, but just a group of unfortunate 30-something kids, or not even kids, adults, having the misfortune of finding this book, and a curse falls upon them in a cabin. That spells a good horror story to me, and the director definitely did it justice. I think he did his own spin on it, and I liked it. I think Bruce Campbell gave the okay too. There was supposed to be a sequel to that. I don't know what's going on. COVID has a habit of ruining things and pushing stuff back. In fact, I think the new John Wick isn't going to come out till like 2023. That sounds so far away now, right? God, it'd be nice if COVID went away, right? That'd be like a great debut. Like, come back to the theaters. COVID's gone. John Wick 4's in, boom. Maybe John Wick could kill COVID. I don't know. Anyway, Army of Darkness is awesome. From the effects, the story. Oh yeah, let me talk about the different versions about this. So there's, like I said, there's 4. 2 versions on one disc and 2 other versions on separate discs. Theatrical, director's cut, international cut, and the TV edit. Now, growing up in the 90s, I'm sure we've probably seen the TV cut. I don't think I watched it. I probably should watch it. Probably would give me memories. But the international cut, that's one of the reasons why I got it. Because I was like, what does that mean? So sometimes a director cut and a producer's cut will get combined together and make a really long film. And I guess like European audiences or international audiences have a lot more patience than Americans, so they could sit through like a 2 hour, 3 hour movie. Even though any of you have seen Avatar or The Hateful Eight, those are long movies, and we've all gladly sit through them. You know, Marvel Avenger, there you go. It's like a 3 hour long film. So, but anyway, I guess it was more, profitable to go overseas and sell your movie in a longer cut. And they probably, I guess, get it more. I don't know. Anyway, it was interesting. So it's basically a combination of the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and maybe some more talky scenes. They did the same thing with the original Dawn of the Dead. There's an international cut. It was promoted for like Italian audiences, and there's a lot of more dialogue scenes of that. Anyway, whatever one you watch, Army of Darkness is where it's at. I never tell a lie. You guys would definitely appreciate this film. A fan of horror or not. I think most of you seen it and forgot maybe, or you've moved on. How could you move on from Ash Williams, Bruce Campbell? I mean, dude's got a chainsaw and a shotgun. That's good entertainment right there. Yeah, a lot of quotable lines, a lot of memorable scenes. There's one scene he's burying his evil twin pretty much, that he's chopped up into pieces, by the way. It's not shown, but it's implied. And he's like, and the head's like, saying, "You will never get the Necronomicon," right? And Bruce Campbell's like, "Hey, what's that on your chin?" And the head's like, "What are you talking about?" You just see like a pile of dirt being thrown on him. I mean, it's one-liners everywhere. You know what I expect them to do? Like if Sam Raimi wanted to do this, but like Duke Nukem. I don't know if you guys know Duke Nukem, the video game. He's like this overly buff macho guy, loves women, and he's like on Earth at a point where it's being invaded by like pig aliens and just aliens in general. I hear a lot of one-liners from this, and actually from Escape from L.A. and New York. Whoever made Duke Nukem was probably a fan of those movies and incorporated a lot. But I could just see like Duke Nukem in the same vein as Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 2. It's that mix of cheesy 80s horror violence with like comedy and dark comedy. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some serious scenes. The scenery's awesome. Everything works. The sets are amazing. Like I said, they absolutely use practical stuff. Virtually no CGI that I could tell of anyway. But it's awesome. And everyone plays their roles to the T. And, I mean, it's got Bruce Campbell in it. And direction by Sam Raimi. So, with that combination of people, another good example is that Darkman. Bruce Campbell's not in that one. Well, he does like a sneak at the end. But it's another, I guess, serious take on a superhero film. That's directed by Sam Raimi. And that's, I guess, that, and he led this up to making, Spider-Man. And I don't think Sam Raimi could ever fathom making a comic book movie. He wanted to. That's why he did Darkman, because he had the, he couldn't get the rights, I think, to a superhero movie. And then when he finally got handed Spider-Man, and he did his trilogy with that, which also stars Bruce Campbell. A few scenes here and there. But yeah, another one. It's another one by Sam Raimi. You should check out Darkman. And Drag Me to Hell. That was good too. Anyway, yeah, Army of Darkness. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I will not steer you wrong. Like I said, fantastic film. Great if you love horror, comedy, a mixture of both. You'll definitely get something out of it. Alright guys, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you all very, very soon. Peace.